Hi, and welcome to Channel 6 News. News.
Second hour.
Story tonight, the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, the post-tropical cyclone sweeping up and down the Caribbean and East Coast.
Hurricane Sandy was also known as the Frankenstorm, or the Blizzard King. It was known as the Blizzard King because it also dropped so much snow along with all the carnage it brought through.
Total fatalities so far are 253.
About 150 to 160 of which were recorded in the U.S. All others were down towards the Caribbean.
One person died in Canada.
Poor Canada. Hurricane Sandy's top wind speeds were upwards of 110 miles per hour.
Millions are without power up and down the East Coast and Caribbean.
However, they are managing to resupply power as we speak. And some say that Hurricane Sandy could have been caused by global warming. However, some researchers at NCRA have said that hurricanes and tornadoes, and in fact all other forms of weather, are being affected by climate change.
Our hearts here at the studio go out to those affected by Hurricane Sandy.
And if you wish to help those that have been affected by Hurricane Sandy, please call 1-800-SANDY.
And now, over to you, Marcel.
There's a report from First Street about a tree that has fallen on a house. The owners of the house told us that the tree fell around 4 o'clock this afternoon. They called the police immediately and they were there within 5 minutes. The tree broke through the roof and landed in their living room. There has not yet been an estimate on the cost of damage, and everyone was reported to be unharmed. We have a viewer video that was submitted to us from a pedestrian passing by. I am down at Stewart Park right now reporting on a truck that has fallen through the ice. There were 2 men going out ice fishing and they had a smaller truck and assumed the ice could hold them. They drove out on the southwest end of the lake. The truck fell through in about 10 feet of water. The 2 men had to break the side windows to get out. Both of them only had minor injuries. There was about 7 inches of ice and 12 inches is recommended for vehicles. Now, let's all hope we learn from this, and always remember to check the ice thickness before venturing out on the frozen lakes.
And now, a few messages from our sponsors.
And now we go to the My Blood, My Sweat, Your Tears segment with Donnie.
Welcome to the My Blood, My Sweat, Your Tears segment. Our top story tonight is the Mount Horeb Stoughton boys basketball game. Final score 44-43 Mount Horeb. Leading all scorers for Mount Orab was Alec Collins with 11 points, Shane Collins with 10 points. Zeke followed up with 7 points, Brett Jurdy followed with 6, Drew Frederickson with 5, Quinn Lazar with 3, and Ryan Epping with 2. And for Stoughton, the leading scorer was number 22 with 26 points. And number 3 with 7 points, number 4 with 4 points, number 2 with 3 points, and number 23 with 1 point.
The local NHRA at Madison held a tournament. It had 64 competitors and it took place in a span of over 64 days. It has come down to 2 final racers. A semi-truck and a snowmobile. We go now to the final race. Mount Orab girls basketball team played Baraboo last Friday with a final score of 60-41 Baraboo. Cassie Hendrick had 12 points, 7 assists. Allie Gordon had 9 points, 3 assists, and 17 rebounds. Tess Bear had 7 points and 1 rebound. Lindsay Ballack had 6 points, 1 assist, and 1 rebound. Serena Preddy had 5 points and 7 rebounds. Number 12 for Baraboo had 26 points, 12 assists, and 36 rebounds. Number 11 for Baraboo had 14 points and 2 rebounds. Number 5 for Baraboo had 11 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and 11 steals. Number 23 for Baraboo had 2 points and 3 fouls. Mount Orab boys wrestling went like this. Ryan Crum had a victory by pin in the 6th minute. Quinn Faust also won with a pin in 30 seconds. Tristan Luther also won by pin in the 3rd minute. Dalen Bauer also won by pin in the 10th minute. Brandon Cushman lost in the first 10 seconds by pin. Mount Orab won the meet by a score of 16,000 to 12. Baraboo was utterly defeated.
The NHL lockout is over. After an annoying 113-day lockout, the NHL season appears to be saved. All along, hockey fans have felt like they've been held hostage by both sides of the negotiations. But that's nothing compared to the businesses that rely heavily on the NHL, and that have been laying off workers and facing bankruptcy because of the lockout. Early on Sunday morning, an agreement was reached to end the NHL lockout and begin a shortened season for 2013. The one group that perhaps is even more excited than hockey players is another bunch of that largely relies on the NHL for its livelihood. Owners and workers at bars, restaurants, sporting goods stores that are located close to in proximity to NHL arenas that depend heavily on game day crowds. The city of Detroit, which everyone knows desperately needs as much business as possible, collectively lost out on roughly $1.9 million for each game canceled, according to the Detroit News. The lost sales total is an estimate of all money that would have been spent at restaurants, parking garages, hotels, bars, and more, had all the season's games been played. Sports bars near Joe Louis Arena, where the Red Wings play, the owner of Cobo Joe's, which is a 5-minute walk to the arena, says he's down $350,000, thanks to the lockout. Likewise, around Christmas time, the Boston Globe reported on how businesses near the TD Garden were hurting because no Bruins games were being played. Naturally, business has slumped at area bars, restaurants, and parking lots. One garage, which normally takes in $1.6 million from Bruins games during the course of a full season, has rarely come close to being full. There's also some indication that sales of team merchandise and memorabilia have been suffering across the country. Even that participation in youth hockey will be down because of the lockout. Perhaps that decline will be smaller than expected now that the season is being salvaged. But will fans come back and be supportive of their teams for the get-go? Surely many will. Hockey fans are among the most passionate and loyal on the planet, and they tend to view players not as spoiled billionaires, but tough, hard-working, regular guys in a store near the TD Garden. One young lady decked in a Bruins t-shirt clinging to a faded Bruins-themed Dunkin' Donuts gift card had this to say of the lockout, according to a New Globe story. "It's better than Christmas morning. I started freaking out. I didn't know what to do." She woke her family to tell them and sent a joyful mass text to every number saved in her phone. "I'm wicked excited that hockey's back," she said. Well, of course she is. Even some fans are bitter that the lockout dragged on for so long. They say that if the cheer on their teams will be begrudgingly. Here's one example. That's obviously not the same as being wicked excited, but hey, if the fans come back and spend their money as if the lockout never happened, the NHL and the businesses that rely on pro hockey games will happily take it.
On Monday, Alabama played Notre Dame in the BCS National Championship game. Alabama won 42-14. Eddie Lacy ran the ball 20 times for 140 yards for Alabama, and Notre Dame, Reddick ran the ball 10 times for 37 yards, C. Wood ran it 4 times for 2 yards, and William Golson ran it 5 times for -7 yards. Alabama's A.J. McCarron was 20 for 28 passing, 0 touchdowns and 264 yards. And Notre Dame's William Golson was 21 for 36 for 207 yards and 1 touchdown. Alabama led the overall first down margin by 12, 28-16. They outrushed Fighting Irish 265 yards to 32. They did not outpass the Irish, as the Irish outpassed them by only 6 yards, 270-264. The Alabama was overall more accurate, completing 20 out of 28 passes, games 21 of 36. Alabama had 4 penalties for 40 yards, and Notre Dame had 3 penalties for 35 yards. Alabama had an average punt of 49 yards, Notre Dame 42 yards. Time of possession was in no way, shape, or form of the word equal. Alabama had the ball for almost 40 minutes of the game. And let me just state this right now, that 40 minutes of the game is nearly 2/3 of the entire football game. Well, Notre Dame had the ball for only 20 minutes. And that's all, folks. And now we go to Skylar.
Hello, and welcome to the You Know What Really Grinds My Gears segment of our broadcast. Today, I'm going to be sharing my opinion with you about the uprisings in Mount Horeb, the teenagers in Mount Horeb, as well as some of the weather we've been having. First off, let's start with those uprisings. Honestly, I can't find a way to justify these uprisings. The workers and the people that are going to be living and or working in the new section of Mount Horeb that is currently being built are unhappy with the build quality of the materials. And so, to voice their opinions, they're setting fire to their houses. Now, why would you set fire to your house, you might ask? Well, because you don't like the way it was built.
Crackle, crackle, crackle. Ember, ember.
The next topic on this section of the broadcast, teenagers. Everyone hates teenagers, especially the way they always skateboard on the sidewalks. And they always take up so much of the sidewalk that no one can walk past them. My perspective on this, they should skateboard in the streets. Who cares if they get hit by a car? I certainly don't. Next, they're always walking on my lawn. And I don't have a problem with that so much as my grandparents do. And if my grandparents do, no, I'm not gonna fucking say that. And the next thing, walking on my lawn. I'm the one that takes care of my lawn, and I take pride in it. I don't want just some low-life teenager walking on it. Especially when I put so much time and effort into the care of my lawn. Next up is the weather. This is some awfully strange weather we've been having around here in Mount Horeb lately. First off, the massive dump of snow we got before Christmas break. 2 days off from school, nearly unheard of. At least in this neck of the woods. It was almost 40 degrees today, and it's the... No, don't stop. I can cut it out. Next up, this weird temperature change. Not even 2 weeks into January, and already we've got temperatures up into the 40s. That is some weird temperature. Normally, it would be around the 30s, or even less. Certainly not up in the 40s. And even rain. It's 2 weeks into January. Who's supposed to be having rain in January other than Florida?
California.
So in conclusion, my opinion, Mother Nature is on the rags. And now we go to Donald with some breaking news.
Last night on Highway 18151, there was a massive pileup of about 22 cars. It started around 10 o'clock last night when a truck driver fell asleep on the wheel and proceeded to run over the smart car in the next lane. This caused both cars to slip onto their sides, getting in the way of the following cars and causing even more mayhem. Those who were not caught in the crash were forced to wait on the road, unable to move, resulting in massive amounts of car honking and loud swearing out the windows. It is now being sorted out by the local authorities. Hi, I'm Donald Ditzenberger, and today we join Vice President of the Mount Horeb Junior class, Alex Thompson. Alex, why do you think you were elected for Vice President?
Well, Donald, my speech for becoming the Vice President, or running for, was very humorous, and that's probably the main reason I got elected, because of the comedic act I had.
Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
What do you think you can do or have done for your class so far?
Well, thus far, I have gone to a couple meetings and conversed with the other members of the class, whatever it's called.
Cabinet.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Tom.
And we're planning prom at the moment, so that's some big stuff, you know?
I know.
You know?
I know.
Some big stuff.
Big stuff. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome, Donald.
Do you think being Vice President of the junior class is an enjoyable position?
Well, I think it's a very prestigious position. Excuse me. And it's pretty fun conversing with the people in the cabinet, as they call it.
As they call it. Thank you,
Yes,
Alex.
and it's also fun planning some ideas that we do for our class,
Like prom.
for example.
Have you always dreamt of being Vice President of the junior class?
Oh, I can remember way back when I was a wee little sophomore, dreaming about being the Vice President of the junior class about 5 minutes before I gave the speech.
That's crazy.
I know.
It just came to you.
And it just came to me. I was like, I gotta do this. And it happened.
That should inspire you.
And that got me to out nowhere, but it's fun. It's fun.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, nice talking with you.
You too. It's been great.
It's been great.
And now back to you.
Hi, I'm reporting from 2nd Street, Mount Horeb on a house robbery. The robbery was reported earlier today at 2:30. The robbers were reported to be kids in their late teens. They have not been seen coming out of the house yet, so hopefully we will catch them coming out of the house. If you have any info on them, call 1-800-FIND-THEM. I repeat, 1-800-FIND-THEM.
We are receiving live footage of the police chase now. Here it is.
And now, a few messages from our sponsors. Introducing Willie the Hillbilly, who loves his Mountain Dew taste.
Yahoo! Mountain Dew!
Mountain Dew banging every can!
And now we go to Skylar, who's going to show us a great product.
Hi, today I'm going to bring you a great product. It's called the SodaStream. It's a very fast, very easy way to make your own soda right at home. All you have to do is have some bottles like these, fill them with water, maybe put them in the fridge, let them get cold overnight. A bottle of syrup, I've got 3 here, one for Fountain Mist, one for Dr. Pete, and one for lemon lime soda. The only other component to this machine besides the machine itself is the CO2 canister. This carbonates the water and then you put the syrup in it. And I'm going to give you a quick demonstration right now to show you just how simple and easy this is. Put the soda bottle in like this, screw it in like that, and you wait for 3 loud buzzes like that. And then you bring the soda bottle back. This lets all the extra CO2 out of it. Then you find your syrup, whatever you want. Today I'm going to be making Fountain Mist. It's basically SodaStream's version of Mountain Dew. And you take 1 capful. Just like that. You make sure that all the CO2 is out of your bottle. Unscrew it. Be sure to hold it at an angle, otherwise you're going to have a bunch of soda right in your face. Pour it in. Screw on the cap. And roll it a few times, or you can just give it one big shake and just let it sit for a couple minutes. But I always like to roll it so I can drink it right away. And there you have it. Great soda, made in under a couple minutes, right at home.